All right, so now I want to demystify Medicare supplements and how they work. A number of years ago, they standardized these plans so that they mirror each other across almost all states. I believe there's 6 states where they didn't go with this organization, but most states are going to have standardized plans. For some reason, they use letters. They use Plan A and Plan B, all the way up through Plan G or I or what have you. There's a couple that are most popular. That's unfortunate because Plan A and Plan B get very confused with Part A and Part B. So they're two different things. They're offered by a number of different companies. I'm not even sure how many there are. There's only a couple of competitive ones in New York State. There may be other competitive ones in your state or your county. We look them up for you. It's not hard to do. But since they're all similar, they're the same, they're standardized. We basically look for price and rating, somebody who's reliable that we can depend on. The two most popular ones that I see in the marketplace, Plan N and Plan G. The main benefit to the Medicare supplement, in my opinion, is that you go to any doctor that takes Medicare, any facility that takes Medicare. This is a big benefit. And you don't have to worry about, does your doctor take it, do they not take it. If it's a Medicare supplement, Medicare is going to play primary, they are going to be secondary, hence the term supplemental. So if you've watched the first video on how Medicare works in 2022, you're going to understand this. So first I'm going to go over the Plan N so you have a firm understanding of how this works. Again, I recommend you call somebody like me or myself, or shoot me an email, because I can help you hone down in why you should consider this plan over that plan. So the $1,556, that's not covered by Medicare Part A. That's the copay to you. Plan N covers that. If it goes beyond 60 days, if you're in the hospital between days 61 and days 90, $389 a day, not paid by Medicare. Plan N pays that. If you're in the hospital and using your lifetime reserve days between day 91 and 150, the copay is $778 a day this year. Plan N pays that. After 150 days in the hospital, Medicare stops paying. I know this is unlikely and rare. I've seen it happen, but it's unlikely. These Plan Ns gives you another 365 days in the hospital. You pay zero. So if you're in the hospital for a year plus 150 days, you have no copay. Plan N is going to pay it all. If you're admitted to skilled nursing the first 20 days, Medicare pays all of it, you're going to pay none. If you're there between days 21 and 100 receiving care at a skilled nursing facility, the co-insurance is $194.50 a day. Plan N pays the $194.50 a day for you. You have zero liability. All right, that's pretty strong coverage if you're asking me. Much stronger than you would have gotten at, insurance through work or whatnot. When it comes to Plan G, we all heard of Plan G. Marker's not working very well. To this point, it's identical to Plan N. There's no difference. Going to cover everything in the hospital for a year plus 150 days. It's going to pay the skilled nursing out to 100 days. They differ in the Part B. I'm going to go over that right now. With the Plan N, you must pay the Part B deductible of $233. That's an annual deductible. You will also pay it on Plan G. After you satisfy the deductible on Plan N, if you go to the doctor, you're going to pay a $20 copay at any doctor visit. That's pretty attractive if you ask me. I think that's a pretty cool benefit. Plan G, you pay zero at any doctor visit. That's pretty cool. Plan G is an extremely comprehensive program. Any Medicare covered service beyond the $233 deductible, you have zero liability. Unless it's a Medicare covered Part A or Part B service. People like that. The premiums vary, depends where you are. In New York State, it's not based on age. It's based on zip code. And then we find the most competitive carrier that you like. Out of state, they typically are varied by age. And sometimes they're medically underwritten, means you have to answer health questions unless you're new to Medicare or have some other circumstances. In New York, they are not medically underwritten. So they take everybody, so the premiums may be a little higher. However, you can change them at will here. The big difference between G and N, besides the $20, is on the excess charges. Plan N does not cover the excess charges. Plan G covers the excess charges. What are excess charges? These are charges above what Medicare approves for a service. If a woman has a hysterectomy, there's a procedure code. In this county and in this zip code, Medicare allows this amount. Let's just call it X. If it's X, Medicare pays 80% of X. The 20% is covered under Plan N. It's also covered under Plan G. If the doctor accepts assignment, he's agreed to take X for the whole procedure. This is most common. However, in certain markets, you are going to find doctors that are unwilling to take Medicare assignment. In those cases, they can charge more than Medicare approves for a service. In that event, for some reason, if you don't know that up front, for Plan N, you're going to pay those costs. For Plan G, they're going to be covered by the plan. Keep in mind that back in the 90s, this was pretty out of control. You would go in, I knew people who went in for hysterectomies, and when you got to people like anesthesiologists, and assistant anesthesiologists, and maybe other people who came in during the procedure, those people a lot of times didn't take assignment. And so I'm laughing because it was disgusting what was taking place. And then these patients were getting these bills and didn't understand what was going on, and insurance companies weren't covering it. And Medicare, I don't know if they were ignoring it, but they couldn't help. Now Medicare has squashed that a little bit. If you look through the Medicare and You Guide, you will see there is a limitation to how much more, how much above the Medicare approved amounts they can charge you. It's rare. I see it in New York City. Doctors that won't participate with Medicare at all, where they basically just take an upfront fee. If you're going in there for surgery, you know right away that you're going to be paying out of pocket. But I have heard of it a few times recently, and it happened, and I'm not knocking anesthesiologists, but those seem to be the doctors where it comes up. Somebody had surgery, everything was approved ahead of time, because when you go in for a procedure, they generally already have approval, especially if it's Medicare Advantage. They already have approval before you go in for it, but that excess charge doesn't really occur with Medicare Advantage, because usually everything is under contract. At any rate, that's how Plan N works. That's how Plan G works. I recommend you call me or call Travis. Let us know how we can help. You don't pay us. Insurance companies pay us. And then they continue to pay us a little bit every month to keep you happy. If there's a problem, you call us. We're the last people you're going to need. So I highly recommend that you let us help you. And I appreciate your time. I'm going to go over Part D next.